Greetings, viewers. Segway Station here. I'm getting ready to do the first video in a series I'm calling Riff Corner. It's basically a spot on my channel where I'm going to play a guitar riff that I wrote, and it won't always necessarily be a difficult riff to play, but it's going to be something cool about it. And I'll talk about that after I usually will play the riff. These videos will be pretty short and sweet. Right now, Hurricane Florence is trying to make her way over the house here, so if I lose power in the middle of this, then I guess that'll scrap this video for the moment. But anyway, this riff is my spider riff. It looks very much like that of a spider crawling on a branch, and it has a lot of what I love about heavy metal. It's got precision. It's got a very in-the-pocket timing. It's kind of chromatic. So it definitely has kind of an evil vibe to it, and in a musical context, it allows for kind of a resolution to happen after the riff. You know, where like a lead section can pop in out of nowhere and suddenly get super melodic, as opposed to that chromatic kind of, you know, going through a vortex kind of sound. So without further ado, I'm going to play it in the context of a full backing, and then I'll break it down for you. And feel free to give me a follow. I'd certainly appreciate it. Feel free to ask any questions you have. I'm happy to answer every single one of them. So without further ado, here we go. I'm turning the microphone off. That way I don't get any weird feedback in this. So stand by for me. All right. Thank you for sitting through that. So that's my spider riff. It literally sounds like this. All right, what's cool about the riff? It's so special because it literally highlights these notes that are equal interval apart. You have these notes here. And then in between each one of those notes is an alternating ascending and descending 3-note run. It's all played in succession. I guess you can say 16th notes at 100 BPM, or you can think of that as 8th notes at 200 BPM. Either way, it's pretty rockin', moderate speed. But yeah, those ascending and descending notes in between those highlighted notes, in between each one of those is. I love metal. I like how it can go from evil to beautiful on an instance. But yeah. So I told you what I think is special about the riff. Why is it special? It's special because when you have a drummer or a rhythm section that can accentuate and certain notes in a guitar riff, I really think it's neat. Like if a drummer and a bass guitar player lock in together and they pick out certain parts of that riff. They may pick out just this part of the riff. Sorry. Where maybe the drummer might literally be hitting the kick drum only on those notes and hitting the snare on just these notes. Or in the inverse, he could be doing the opposite. He might be hitting literally the kick drum just on these notes and having a weird, snare pop occurring in the middle of the three notes. The bands that are really good at doing things like that, where they just splice and dice and put it all back together. I think bands that are good at that obviously would be Meshuggah, Dream Theater, Lamb of God comes to mind, Periphery, The Contortionists, Animals as Leaders, Tesseract. Just bands that know how to take a riff and mull it over so much where it's so developed, they're able to change the whole feel and pulse of that riff based on the rhythm section that's behind it. That stuff fascinates me, and I feel like I'm a student of it. So, yeah, with a riff like that, I think that allows a nice playing field for a drummer and a bass player or a rhythm section to really do their homework and change the feel of the riff over time. Even if the guitar player is doing the same thing over and over again, the drummer and a bass player can really exploit the coolness of that riff based on how they create that pulse. The thing that makes you want to move. I feel like good metal, good hard rock, when you're listening to something like that, you can't help but want to boogie. You want to bob that head, you want to headbang, whatever it takes, to be able to express that feeling it gives you. I dig it. Hope you do. Keep rocking. Please follow me. We will journey together. And I hope you enjoyed this first video of Riff Corner. Peace.